After taking hundreds, if not thousands, of sales calls, I've come to the conclusion that you don't need to set up multiple meetings to pitch, close, and collect from your clients. And the reason why I say that is because I've done it myself. And I know you're looking at me like, who is this guy? First video, why should I trust him or listen to him in the first place? Because I think the same way. To give you some context, I've been in the space, in specifically the sales space, for about a year and a half now. And this right here, as you're looking on my screen, is literally the biggest month I've had in commission so far, and I've got more to go, but this is a $32,000 month in commission. This is after I had collected over 250 grand on my own sales calls that I have taken for that company in just that 1 month, which was July of last year, or June technically. So essentially what I'm going to be showing you in this video is exactly how I fixed my biggest issue, which was having to get on second calls. And you're going to have to do that by implementing systems that we're going to be going over in this video here. So starting off, we've got our pre-call nurture. Now, of course, if you guys are watching this video, chances are you have an offer where people book calls, and so you probably have a funnel. And your funnel should always end with a confirmation page where your clients are going to be able to watch a 2 to 3 minute pre-call video that closes the doors on all potential reasons for rescheduling. So examples, right? These examples look like this. I'm actually going to show you one of our perfect funnels right here that we work with. So this is one of my biggest clients. You can see the color palette looks good. All the colors look like they are synergized. And this is what a video would look like. You could even use a software like Videolytics. I can even link it in the description if you guys are interested, to where the customer can't seek through the video, so they have to watch this. And you could just straight up lay down the reasons why they would reschedule and tell them, make sure these are all situated before the call so that we can actually be prepared. And the reason why we do this is because the most common reason for rescheduling is things like not being in a quiet environment. They have to pick up their kids all of a sudden their internet is not going well, right? So what we do is we lay down these facts beforehand in this 2 to 3 minute video. We also cover a little bit of the finances. We make sure the decision makers are going to be present. There's no, I need to talk to my wife. She has to be on the call, right? That they're prepared. We even say notepad and a pen, not necessarily because we care about them having a notepad or a pen, but just because we would want them to know this is a serious business meeting. Have your notepad, have your pen, so that you are nice and prepared. So that's going to be the first thing. That should be right after they book a call. Second of all, you want to have all kinds of copy scattered throughout the funnel, like not done yet, one more step, confirm your slot, and that type of copy throughout all of your landing pages and your funnel in general is going to be what makes them want to engage with this type of material that you put on the website. So I'll give you an example. Right here, we put a little bit of copy saying not done yet. Click and watch the video below to confirm your spot. And even early on in this video, you guys are welcome to go check out the website and watch it. We actually told them to watch out for a text from our closer, which is exactly what I'm going to be going over next. Because the closer must have their booking notifications turned on in order to text every single lead as soon as they book. Now, if you're a closer and not a owner for an offer, this is extremely important, so pay attention. Even if you can't call the prospect specifically in that moment, what you need to do is you need to make sure that as soon as they book, you text them, right? A quick introduction message. Make sure it doesn't look like it's botted. And I'll actually show you an example of that right here. This is a client that came in through one of my clients that I take sales calls for to this day. And when she booked, I instantly texted her name, said, this is Mohammed with X, Y, and Z and this company. And so she instantly replied back, because at this point, remember, they're watching your confirmation videos and your videos are saying, hey, you should go ahead and you should wait for a text, and then I'll receive the text instantly. What that allows you to do is go ahead and let them be on the same page with you. So they said, hello, how are you? Looking forward to our call this afternoon. And I said, doing great, hope you are too. So are you free for a 2 to 3 minute phone call so we can be all set up for our Zoom call later? And what that does is it allows you to go to number 4, and that is another important point, which is calling your leads ahead of booking to do a 5-minute triage / confirmation. And what a triage or a confirmation call is extremely simple. Remember those things we talked about early on in the confirmation video? We want to bring them up again, but live on the phone this time, right? So we're going to go ahead and confirm that the time and day they picked is perfect and they're going to be available. We also want to confirm their finances, make sure they have enough funds on them. We also want to make sure that their partner is available on the call. And lastly, we're going to walk them through accessing everything you have on your confirmation page. So an example of what you should have on your confirmation page actually includes something like this. This is a free ebook that we're literally just giving away to any prospect that books a call. And this comes down to providing lots and lots of value, but also for them to build trust, right? So when you give them something like this for free, not only will they trust you more, but it'll nurture them. That's why it's called pre-call nurture, right? So while you're on the phone at the end of the call and you confirmed everything, let them know, hey, open up that link real quick that you've got in your iMessages, and then you go through the link and get them the sales assets you're giving, whether that's an ebook or it's interviews like this, where you can tell them, hey, I want you to check out at least 2 to 3 of these interviews before our call so you can be fully prepared. And now they know they got to do that. Chances are you're going to have a couple people that don't, but this will extremely make sure that the ones that are qualified are actually going to be much warmer to where the call is where the close happens, the first one. So that's that. And then now the second step is going to be for you to go ahead and use Zoom. And I know you're thinking this is very, very basic, but you would be surprised how many companies that are doing 4, 5, or even 6 figures a month still do their sales calls over the phone. And that's not to say that I've never done that. I've taken multiple calls, like dozens of them, and I've closed 4 or 5 figure deals literally by just talking to people on the phone. But that's not ideal, right? And the reason why it's not is because nothing will come close to being able to share your screen during your pitch and giving your prospect a live taste of your product, right? So as you're going through your framework in the sales call, once you get to the point where you're pitching your program, it's one thing to talk about it. Like it's like driving a car. It's one thing to go ahead and talk about the car, but it's another when the customer comes into the store and they drive the car. They feel the leather. They feel the acceleration. They smell the seats, right? And they get the brand new car feeling. So that's why dealerships always try to get you to go through the door, because of the different feeling you'd get right there. So what we do is we show product features. We show product benefits. And at the end of the pitch, we always end it with client results and testimonials. So as you're signing off on your pitch and you want to go ahead and go into your close, you just straight up show a lot of your testimonials and you go, hey, these are some people that have worked with us. Obviously, this is not a standard. This relies heavily on you doing the work, but this person did X, Y, and Z. This person did X, Y, and Z, and that'll again warm them up a lot more, so that when you go in for your close, they're a lot more ready to go, just like that. So that's very, very important. And so this is an absolute non-negotiable if you want to have a standard of closing on the first call. Non-negotiable. You cannot do phone call closes anymore unless you're okay with follow-up calls, which then is a different story. So that's that. The third thing we're going to be going over is going to be the sales call framework. And this specifically, I feel like I have to make a lot more videos on, which I will. I'm even going to be dropping a free school community for you guys to check out, where I'll be going over everything sales related. But for now, we have to do with this. And so your framework should be the same on every call. Pay attention though, this is not a script. It's drastically different than a script. You don't want to treat your clients like money bags, right? They're not money bags. You need to treat them like humans, which means you have to have a discussion with them. There has to be dialogue, there has to be discourse of some sort. And so when you're following a script, it's super hard to do that because you're not even fully engaged in the conversation. You're just looking at your thing and you're like, what next thing do I say? I don't know what next thing to say. So instead, what you need to do is have a conversation, but make sure it's a guided one, right? Checkpoints, that's why it's called a framework. So your first 10 to 15 minutes of a call should be the discovery session. That's where you're finding out things like their goals, how much money they have set aside, who else is involved in this, and essentially you're closing doors on objections as they come up, right? So if they bring up like during the discovery and you're asking about their goals and you're like, hey, Mr. Prospect, what are your goals? And they say, yeah, man, I just lost my job and so I'm looking to replace it. And then that's a red flag, right? That might mean you might not have finances. So now we would do what we call front loading the finances, which means you just go very upfront on your question on finances and be like, cool. And I totally understand you losing your job, and obviously that's not a pretty thing to go through. But like this will require a financial investment of X amount. So you don't know what you're getting yet. But if everything made sense, do you actually have that available? Because I don't want to put you in a weird spot. If you do want to put your clients in a weird spot, you shouldn't be watching this video, but you shouldn't want to put them in a weird spot, and you should front load that right then and there before you go later on in the call and now you feel like you have to close them because you went so long, and that's where everything falls apart. So close the doors on objections as they come up. And then your pitch is just going to be 10 to 15 minutes. Again, once you're done with your discovery, you're very clear on their goals, how much money they have, you're very confident they would benefit from your service. Now it's time to show them that they would benefit from your service, and you would pitch. And this goes back to sharing your screen on Zoom, making sure that you're showing product features and everything like that. Once you're done with your pitch, again, always end with customer success, and just make sure that you, after your pitch, go in for a tie down before you go in for the close. And you're wondering, what is a tie down? A tie down is where you ask your client honestly what they think. Don't be biased. Don't make them feel like they have to say something. straight up ask them if they have any questions. Once they're done with their questions, you could be like, hey, Mr. Prospect, so based off everything I showed you there, do you honestly feel like if you utilize what I'm giving you here, that you would get a benefit or that your life would be easier, whatever, word it however you want. And that is always going to get you an honest answer, usually, as long as you've been trustworthy the whole call and you're not scammy and sleazy. And so a lot of the times they'll say yes if you did a good job and if your product actually works. And if they say yes, this is a huge mistake closers make. They go in for the close right here. Don't. Ask them why. That's what a tie down is. You're tying down the sale, right? So ask them, why do you feel like this would help you? Is it the program? Is it the course? Is it the community? Whatever you're selling. Hey, I'm selling marketing services. Is it the fact that we run ads for you? What is it that you genuinely feel like would help you? And that's why they'll say, yeah, man, I like this, I like this, I like this, I like this. And so now you get to the end. It's like, what else is there to do than buy? Nothing, right? You've closed the door on all of the objections. You even framed it as an onboarding, which is the next thing, right? Where you're going to be telling them, hey, by the end of this call, we might have to make a decision. And so at this point, what is there? What's left, right? Nothing. The close, right? So you would ask them, man, so typically where we go from here is I'll send you over an invoice. You just go ahead and fill it out real quick with your payment information. And then I'll go ahead and get you onboarded here. Will take us 5 minutes. Does that sound good? Yes. Cool. I'll send you the link. That's literally how most of my closes have gone. So most of my closes didn't have objections. Because objection handling is not a thing that you want to have to go through. You want to close the door on objections before they even come up so that you don't have to handle them, right? So that's how you really handle an objection. So that's that. Again, very, very important. Build trust and be honest. Does not matter how well of a closer you are, if you're lying, if you're scheming, if you don't do the thing that you sell. If you sell let's say you sell a TikTok Shop program and the client says, do you sell on TikTok Shop? And you don't sell on TikTok Shop and you just lie and act like you sell on TikTok Shop, it's not going to help you. You're going to see through it most of the time. Your sales are going to fall through. So don't lie. Be honest. Have ethics. My number one value before close rate is honesty. Am I lying to clients or am I not? If you're lying to get the sale, you don't deserve it and you suck and you should get better. And then, like I said, tie down and close. So it's pretty much all it is for now. There's a lot of other things you can implement to improve your sales process. And I actually help with this one-on-one. I also have an agency where I'll build out sales funnels, sales systems for you, whatever you need. So DM me if you have any questions, either here or on Instagram or on TikTok. It's going to be the exact same handle. You just got to look it up. And I'll also have it pinned in the description. But I hope this helped. I hope you no longer have to set up multiple calls. And let me know what you guys want to see next.